What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Black Pop. Welcome to another episode of The Lowdown. Sitting in front of me today, you know what I'm saying, I got two young and up and coming artists and producer here out of Hartford CT. You know what I'm saying? How we like to do here on The Lowdown, we like to, highlight for the culture and what our influences of the culture are and the impact that y'all would like to have on popular culture. And we'll get into some of that right now. So I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves so the people know who you are. Go ahead, y'all.
Word. So I'm a producer, YoungRayBeats, out of Hartford. Been producing for like 8 years now. Produced for a couple of poppin' artists out there in Detroit, and a lot of artists in Connecticut and stuff. But the main person who I'm working with right now is my boy right here. We got a lot of tracks coming out, so everybody stay tuned for that.
Yes, sir. My name is Samuels YoungRayBeats, artist out of Hartford, Connecticut. I move around a lot though. I could be from a lot of different places, honestly. But we just doing our thing, and we got a lot of music coming out. I hope y'all tune into what we got. Feel me? We got a lot on the way.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. So we're gonna jump right into it, yo. So I'm gonna start with you, my boy MJ. So you are an artist. You told the people you are an artist. So
Sir.
I immediately like to know before I know anything about the music, because on the platform here, I like to go from the inside out. So I want to know what led up to everything with the music, right? That's kind of how I like to approach it. So let me just start with what influenced you or pushed you into doing music? I know we was talking before the camera cut on. You was getting into it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's literally something I'm gonna ask you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead and just elaborate on that story that we was talking about.
All right, yeah. So honestly, I would say that I've always been around music. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like I got into music. I started doing music at 18 years old, but I was around it from when I was at a young age because I had a brother who passed away on my birthday when I turned 7 years old. But before that, when I lived in Queens, New York, he had a whole studio in the apartment. Like we had it was a 1-bedroom, but in New York, you make a fucking new room.
Yeah.
They add a new room up. You feel me?
Be like a 3-bedroom for real.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a little studio in the background. He had a fucking the MacBook, like when it was like the older type shit, but it was like back in 07.
Right.
But like it was like one of the first like nice looking slim MacBooks.
MacBook Pros.
Yeah. So, and he used to be on there making beats and remixing songs by Usher and a whole lot of different shit. He was just working a lot, you know what I mean? And he had heart problems, so that's all he could do at the time, you know what I mean? And that was his passion, his love. So my mom, you feel me, because of what my brother was going through, like she never minded the music blasting in the house. So I was able to play music and blast whatever the hell I want.
Really experience everything.
From whatever age I was, it didn't matter what was going on in the music. Like my mom was not one of the moms that was like, no.
Oh, she ain't hit you with the no cussing version?
No, nah.
Shout out to moms. Shout out to moms for the freedom.
And it's crazy because like my parents are like Jamaican, like older Jamaicans.
Oh, that's kind of unheard of. Were they into music themselves?
Yeah. But they were into their old school shit, like the Bears Hammonds, and my mom was into Barry White a lot.
And so you're originally from Queens, New York.
Yeah, I'm from Queens.
When did you move to Hartford?
When I was 12 years old.
Okay, so right around the time you came to work. This is one of my Wildcats, y'all.
Yeah.
Anybody who know me, y'all know Coach Pob. I know I'm Black Pob on here, but it's Coach Pob first. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my guys right here, for former Wildcat alumni.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Hartford Wildcats.
Yeah, shout out to Hartford Wildcats. Yeah.
But that's dope. That's dope. I think that's a dope perspective. Parenting. Being a parent, you kind of develop your own kind of restrictions. I would like to say my mom and dad used to. Funny story. Right, real quick. I went to DMX was real hot, 98, 99. Belly was about to drop. If y'all young boys ain't seen Belly, go see Belly.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's a classic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hype Williams directed. But you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get DMX's second album, Not As Dark As Hell Is Hot. The shit where he, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on that CD cover with all the blood.
Yeah.
Classic album. That's like prime DMX. Rest in peace, DMX. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my mom heard the bar like, I got blood on my, cause I'm a nasty. Yo, she lost her. I snuck the explicit version. This when CDs was out. Snuck the explicit version. She heard that in the boom box.
She said,
We was going to church and all that. She was like, nah. She's like, he covered all his blood. He the devil. And my mom, while young, you know what I'm saying? My mom had me at 16, so I'm like, hey, she's tripping a little bit. All my friends listening to it. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a funny story. So I think it's dope that your parents, like, in an aspect, allowed you the listening freedom of being able to take it in. Did they give you, and you had an older influence to kind of guide you in what the music was? You know what I'm saying? My pops was like that for me. I do have to ask, though. I do have to ask my man, my producer. Are you originally from Hartford?
Yeah, I'm
YoungRayBeats, right?
Yeah.
Right? Born and raised in Hartford. Shout out to A60. Let me ask you, what influences pushed you to produce it? Because producing is like, you got to be a different kind of breed. First of all, let me shout out to the producers. Like, I done been around a couple producers. We don't like, you know, I know producers is lit now, you know, especially in our area. Like, we got the Chill Shumps, we got, you know, Trap Beats. You know, we got a couple dope producers, CPRD. You know what I'm saying? We got dope guys out here. Forgive me for forgetting anybody. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bridgeport and all that. We definitely got dope spitters out here. But like, I've been in sessions and I've watched producers really cook up, and y'all mental block be different than an artist. Like an artist, we struggle with like the words or it sounding funny. Like, to have an ear to put a sound together, like, what I mean, especially as a young producer, because a lot of people do it now. A lot of people in the culture are younger now. You know, you got the young generation. Like, what's the thing you probably hate the most about producing?
Beat block. That's what I hate the most. It's like when you can't come up with no creativity. It's like anything you make is just trash.
Beat block.
It's annoying, but it's like how I'll be overcoming it is like listening to different music. Like,
Yeah.
I just listen to different music and I just see how they make the music and stuff like that, and I'll just add it in my own stuff.
Okay.
So like basically what I'm doing with him right now is we trying to come up with our own like type of genre.
Right.
So what we doing is like we combine the different genres in one thing to make something new.
So y'all finding the sound right
We
now.
finding the sound. So I like everyone's doing that little drill stuff in this little era coming on right now.
Right.
So it's like we making our own version of drill.
Okay.
So when he like when they hear him, it's his sound. It's not like he copying no one.
Right.
So it's like stuff like
you
that.
know, this shit is crazy because I don't know, we was just kind of like fucking around with it a little bit, like trying to see like what we could come up with. And like out of nowhere, I don't know, there's just this certain pattern that we've been working with. I don't know, it just sounds different, yo.
It's
different?
crazy because when we first started, the beats that we used to make when we first started sounds nothing like what we have now. I basically like molded into his sound.
Right.
So we got like a certain sound when you hear him, you're gonna hear a certain type of sound coming with that.
Right. Well, most you know, it's always been a trend, like, you know, from the MCs to the DJs.
Yeah.
It's always been apparent between the artist and the person who cultivates the sound, whether it be the modern producers of now or the breakbeat DJs who would break it down in the 70s and the 80s, right? And people started spitting over the breakbeats, right? The whole, and you know, shout out to hip hop because it's the 50th year of hip hop, so you know we definitely got to shout that out. You know, hip hop 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm definitely. And you know, the interesting thing about it too, and I love kind of hearing what you said, because in order to really, it sounded like progress, like, you know what I'm saying? Because for y'all to create a synergy, and it's hard to do between people who got their own ideas and sounds. So when you can really mesh it and y'all can work together, it's definitely a magical thing. Most of these popular artists now, the wave is like when you have a Hit Boy and a Nas, you know what I'm saying? And they just pair up. Or whether you have Lil Baby and his producer that he go to, you know, specifically. Or Drake got 40, you know what I'm saying? Or he got Baca.
You know what I'm saying? Boy Wonder, one of them.
Boy Wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody kind of got their person for their sound. Future, if something don't trust you, Metro Boomin, you know what I'm saying? And then it'd be funny because with that sound, y'all literally help each other grow. Because now it's gonna be somebody that look at your shit and be like, damn, I want that sound.
That sound, like,
that's basically what we trying to do, because it's like I'm hearing a lot of new stuff coming out, like the Bronx drill that's coming out. That's a genre that probably the same thing happened what we doing right now. They signed a producer, came up with an idea, they end up going crazy off of it, and now everyone's trying to hop on that genre.
Right.
So it's like,
Well, the original drill, y'all know, some Chirac.
yeah,
yeah.
it's from Chirac.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody getting their own versions of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no. And the thing is, like,
I didn't think it was gonna grow at first.
yeah, the crazy,
Yeah.
the crazy part is, I don't even know if like we should call what I'm doing drill,
Yeah.
cause like just the idea of like the beat is probably drill, but I don't know, like there's just a certain image that's put towards behind drill.
Right.
And listen, honestly, I'm a creative. I have a creative mind. I've never given a fuck about what the fuck you want to talk about on your music.
Right.
You know, it's art form.
Right.
And you can't stop anybody from talking about whatever they want to talk about in their music.
Right.
And that really shouldn't even be get used against you. Like I honestly,
That's a whole different conversation.
I'm just saying, but like you know what I mean. But
Right.
like I don't know. I just have that thought process. But like I say, I wouldn't call what I do drill because like the way the beat is structured is a little different than how like any drill is usually structured. Like
Right.
even the patterns that we use is not like the regular drill patterns.
Right.
Like and when I'm talking about the content behind what I'm talking about is a lot different. It's not about like it's not about I'm talking about.
Right.
Like,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I've reposted some stuff.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about what I gotta do.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
That's honestly what I can say about his music too. Is because it's like when I listen to like regular drill music, it's just some shit that like you just get hyped to. You just drive down the street, you just want to act crazy. His music, when I actually listen to his music, you can actually like listen to his shit and actually
Something you can hear.
Yeah, you can paint the picture and see what he's actually talking about.
Right.
There's plenty of times I was driving to New York to go to the studio and I was just playing the music and I called him. I'm like, bro, this nigga's music had me in a trance. I'm just driving. I'm forgetting I'm driving because I'm just listening to everything this dude talking about. I'm like, damn, bro, this is some real shit. I'm like, shit.
It's always better when it's relatable.
Nah, yeah, this is
So
crazy.
speaking on that right there, right? So let me ask both of y'all, and you know, you could chime in how y'all feel.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about like drill being like a part of this, like this new wave, like urban culture, right?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, like, you know, so I'm a little older than y'all. So when I was coming up, hip hop was still like, rap was still like the rebellious shit to do. Like to be a rapper was like super bad boy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It still had a certain aura about it that's, you know, the same but a little different now. So like a little different type of question. Do y'all feel, what's y'all feelings on popular culture? Do you feel like urban culture is popular culture?
I feel like it is because it's like most of the stuff that you see like on the internet, it has something to do with our culture. It's like even pop, like when they make their own songs,
Right.
it's like you can kind of hear some of the stuff that they took from our culture and they just threw it in their own version. So I
Right.
feel like we played a big impact on like a lot of the music.
How things move.
So it's like, yeah.
But that's across like, if you really want to get into it, that's across a lot of these genres.
Yeah.
That's like dating back to rock, dating back to fucking
Right.
whatever you want to talk about.
But so I asked this because as artists, right, we know the Grammys just passed and everybody just watched the Rock Nation brunch and all that. You know what I'm saying? And as artists and creatives, you know, you aspire to be in the era of the greats, like, you know, in this influential culture. Now, the way I segment and been documenting these series here on the Lowdown is I've tapped in with every aspect, or I'm beginning to tap in with every aspect of the culture from the inside out. You guys are actually like the first artist I've interviewed. Well, like kind of on intentional artists. I had A Vinci, shout out to A Vinci, my boy A Vinci.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I asked that because it's always a debate when you break it down into genres. Like when everything, as you say, everything is influenced by urban culture. Like we play a lot of the parts of the things that you see on social media, on internet. We influenced music from day one. Fashion, we all know is, you know, it's not kind of hot to urban culture says it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So when I say urban and pop, then essentially I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think is the difference? Are we popular culture? Is from the drill music to your free form dreads, and you know what I mean? Like, are we popular culture? Like,
I feel like we are.
Yeah.
I feel like we definitely are because it's like, I mean, even other cultures, they don't want to admit it, but they do be like
Right.
trying to copy some of the stuff that we do.
Right. I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah. So I feel like, even though people don't want to admit it, I feel like we are popular culture because it's like there's a lot of stuff that we did that like kind of started trends and, you know.
I don't know, yeah. I just, the way I think about it is anything evolving around like essentially what black people have done, like especially when it comes to like the sound of anything, as far as it's music related. Like I said, it goes across all genres, even dating back to the classical shit. You know what I mean? Like, you had fucking Elvis doing all the shit he was doing, based off of all the shit he was learning about. What black people was doing, brothers was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
it's facts. It's all factual.
So it's like I don't know, yo. I'm just saying like the influence has always been there, and it's you know, you see it go across a lot of genres, even in other countries. You know, in Asia, you got a lot of people following what they see our culture doing, what's popular over here.
Yeah.
It buzzes over there, and you see everybody dressing like us, trying to make their hair like us. Even feel me? Like this shit is crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I saw some
some
white boys
in locks or some
right.
shit. Like,
I was just about to say, I saw some boys in Paris on a YouTube. They were getting arrested because they was drilling in Paris or something in France. Like,
it's
you know
crazy
what I mean?
because,
Like,
that you said that because it's like I'm pretty sure hip hop started in New York.
Oh yeah.
So it's like for that to like go across the whole country.
right.
People like I was just on YouTube yesterday. I didn't even know they had people rapping on Detroit beats in Bahamas.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
So it's like we definitely like had an impact on the entire world, which is crazy.
And like even like the format it gives like people who are like producing, who are not from the culture necessarily, but have a laptop and can figure out how to work the ins and outs of creating beats and stuff like that, and to making bags. You got people in Poland making beats and sending it over. Yo, bro, I got people that hit me up from like the UK and shit. Like, yo, bro, I got some beats. I'm trying to send to you if you want to take a look at them or whatever. Blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, so you just see how the culture has influence everywhere, and it's like whether it's out of love or it's for making a bag. You see the impact.
You see the movement.
You see the movement there.
I ain't mad at that. So let me ask y'all this: what inspires you artistically then? Like, what inspires you artistically?
Shit, I mean, it dates back to like everything around me, basically. Like I tend to think about a lot of the things that I've been through in my life, like, and I have PTSD and shit like that. So I tend to just replay a lot of shit in my brain over and over about the things that I've seen or I've done or that I've witnessed or whatever. And so over time, that's what led me back to music, because I used to write raps when I was like 9 years old in my notebook and shit like that, like reciting it to my mom. I was saying some depressing shit back then too. You feel me? Like I was a depressed kid for a long ass time. You know what I mean? So like over time, that's what led to me just where I am now as far as rapping. Like I don't know, it's just giving me a whole new different like perspective, like to be able to put on paper or in my notes my thoughts, which I wasn't doing before. I was kind of like camouflaging it with football,